Folks, evening. Bit of an impromptu one tonight. Something I've been thinking about mostly today, but for the last couple of days as well. Like I say, I wasn't really thinking of doing a video, obviously because just had the England game and what have you. But there's a few things that's been weighing on my mind, and to be perfectly honest, really pissing me off. Before I get into it, there's going to be some swearing in this, so I'll just warn you beforehand. If you don't like that sort of stuff, don't watch. Um, but the thing that's bothering me is all this online bullying, the online hate, online abuse. It's to be honest, it's getting absolutely bloody ridiculous. Um, I'm not going to give too much airtime to the people that choose to abuse others online, because to be honest, they're fucking pond life. They're vermin, they're parasites, and the definition of a parasite is something that lives off another living thing. And these, I don't even call them people, these vermin, these parasites, they seem to feed off other people. They feed off other people's misery and upset. And I mean, I've seen it quite a bit on various different platforms. I'm relatively new to Twitter, but Twitter seems to be one of the fucking worst for it. And you see some of the things that some people say to others, and you just think, so I've been sat in my car today while I was driving around working, and I'm trying to think what makes someone want to do stuff like that. What do they get from it? It's like, are you some, I don't know, some teenage kid that thinks it's funny, or some old or older person who's had a bit of a shit life and they think they're going to take it out on others? It's like, what possible gain can you get from causing upset to another person? And it's not even by, like, I know some people say, well, everyone's got the right to freedom of speech. Yeah, you have got the right to freedom of speech, but you don't have the right to make hateful comments that you know is going to absolutely fucking ruin someone's day and could be much, much worse. The consequences could be much, much worse. It's like, if you're the sort of person who sits there and you think it's okay to abuse somebody for their sex, the colour of their skin, their appearance, who they pray to, if they pray at all, what their sexual orientation is. It's like, just for those things, it's like, you are the fucking problem. And I'd like to say you need to stop, but I know you won't. And like I said, I don't want to give you too much airtime, to be honest, because you're a fucking disgrace. But almost as bad as that is the operators of the social media platforms. I mean, they say the right things. They pay lip service, and they say they actively monitor, and they take the appropriate action when people are reported for doing things like this. But that's reactionary. That's not prevention over cure. It's reactionary, and it should be, your action should be proactive. You should be doing things to stop this happening, or at least minimising it. Because the problem is, yeah, you can kick somebody off of your platform, but 5 minutes later they've set up a new email address, they've set up a new fake online account, and they're back doing the same stuff with one of these crappy little fucking accounts. Like, well, they always got these random little oblique little names like Champions League Arsenal 175 with a picture of fucking Thierry Henry or the Premier League trophy. It's like, and they're back doing the same thing. Now, like I said, I've seen it a little bit, but the last couple of weeks I've seen two good mates of mine actively being abused by other people for no reason. It's not a difference of opinion. It's cruelty. I'm not even going to go into the reasons and the things they fucking said, but there was one of them. I'll tell you what I said to him. I said, "Why don't you jump back in the pond, you fucking melt?" And then he decided to turn on me, which I wasn't really that bothered about because it detracted from the abuse that a friend of mine was getting. And then he starts going on, "Oh, why don't you get back to your wife and kids?" So he's obviously looked at my profile, and I said, "Quick question: what do you get from abusing other people for no reason?" And then he come back with, "Quick question: what's a bloke as old as you doing on Twitter? What are you, like 50?" It's like, actually, I'm 48, but fuck you. And then he was reported, and then there was another one And literally this person, I looked on his profile, he had no followers, he followed 2 people, and his entire history of tweets was at this one person and saying really fucking horrible things to him over a period of days. So it's not like that was even just like a one-off thread. This was like over days he was doing this. And I reported him and he got kicked off. But the thing is, he's probably back with another name and probably abusing someone else. So the people who operate the platforms that I'm talking about, I'm going to fucking call you out. There's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You know, you have such immense power and wealth, and you're telling me that you can't stop this. You can't get people to verify their accounts with some form of ID before they set an account up. I'd even fucking subscribe. I like going on social media. I've met some really nice people and I've had some really good experiences. I met a fucking missus through Facebook, for crying out loud. She probably wouldn't say it's such a great experience, but you know, that's a whole different story. I digress, obviously. But why can't you, like, if you said to me, all those 4 major platforms I've mentioned, if they come up to me and said, right, we need you to pay £10 a year to subscribe, yeah, I'll do that because I've got no problem with it. I enjoy being on social media and I don't go on there to fucking abuse people. So yeah, of course. I think the problem is they're not going to do that, in the words of Facebook, you know, free, and it always will be, because they like the targeted advertising and they know if people have to pay for it, their advertisers are going to have less people to target because less people will go on there because they got to pay for it. But if it protects people from this sort of stuff, then yeah, all well and good. I mean, I've said before, you know, I've got my own demons, my own fucking. I suffer with depression and anxiety, and if somebody really got stuck into me, you know, I'd probably cope with it all right. But there are those who suffer a lot worse than I do, and what's that going to do? Like, ultimately, it could be the worst thing in the world. And you all know what I'm talking about if somebody was abused to such an extent. So yeah, for you platform operators, you need to do something, because you're every bit as culpable as these horrible, vile little trolls that sit there, probably in their basements of their fucking mum's house or their bedroom in their mum and dad's house, and sat there just with their fucking white fronts on a box of tissues next to them, getting off on abusing people. It needs to fucking stop. And that's about all I have to say on that subject. Apologies for all the swearing, but I'm really fucking wound up by this at the moment. On a slightly lighter note, there was a knock at my door about 15 minutes ago, and I looked through the vision panel, and there's some bloke out there with a pizza box. I was like, well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm the only one that's up, so I know I haven't ordered any fucking food. So I opened the door. I was like, I haven't ordered your food, mate. He's like, is this number 26? I said, yeah, it's number 26, but I haven't ordered any food. Is your name Joe? I was like, nah, Joe lives next door. I was like, fucking hell, Joe, you don't even know what number you live at. Fucking silly bastard. Anyway, that's about it for now. Like I say, it's a little bit impromptu. I normally have notes and stuff, like I'd sort of put them on sticky notes on the screen. But I had none at all tonight. It was just, like I say, very impromptu. It was just a load of shit I needed to get off my chest. I don't normally bang on about, you know, well, please subscribe and hit the notification bell and all that. And you don't need to subscribe to this channel. But what I do ask is, if you see this, if you could share the fucking shit out of it. It's not for personal gain. It's just, it needs to be, you know, I know there's a certain amount of awareness and, you know, people are doing good things. The Her Game 2 movement, and I mean the Black Lives Matters movement, everything. There just needs to be, people just need to be fucking kind. So if you do see this and you get a chance, if you could share it, that'd be really good, because it might do some good. You never know. Anyway, have a good evening or day, wherever you might be. I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Ta-da.